In today's video, I'm going to be taking Minecraft's worst mob, aka the goat, and fixing them. And don't worry, I'm not going to take away their balls or anything. No, I'm going to be improving upon them. I'm going to make them more than just a bad cow. I'm going to be doing what Mojang wouldn't, and I'm going to be giving the goats an actual use. Before we go any further and talk about the really important changes, I'm going to show you a really minor change that just does wonders for the goat. Drops mutton, well, and string. You're not going to farm a goat for its juices. Who does that? No one's going to do that. Just use a cow. But now you can farm it for string and food. You can use this string, make a bow or something, and shoot, just become America. I don't know. But that's just a small change. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, because I did turn them into like a lightning rod. I turned goats into a lightning rod. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this. I'm going to make you infinitely better, which honestly, not that hard. So we all know goats, they follow wheat. They like wheat. They'll eat it. Oh, look, he loves me. Too bad I hate you. So we know that. But what if we were to give him a hay bale? I mean, he doesn't really know what it is. It doesn't look like wheat. Well, it looks a little bit like wheat. But what if we gave it to him? He turns into a lawnmower. I turned him into a lawnmower. Look at you. You actually did something useful for once. Like, no one wants to, like, oh, carefully pick up grass. But now, combine hay bales with wheat, which they still follow. You can just sprint around and lead your... Oh, gosh darn it. Everyone knows your lawn is messy. Everyone knows you got tall grass just going everywhere. What if there was a simpler way to just make it disappear? But maybe you don't want one goat. Maybe you want a bunch of goats. Maybe you want to be incredibly efficient. You just gotta feed all of them, and they will sprint around cleaning everything. You can even have child labor. It's great. And now this area, clean, crisp, beautiful, just like your mother. But you wouldn't think I'd leave it to just a lawnmower, would you? Before I go any further, I want to make sure that you know that if you like this mod and you want to try it out for yourself, you can go down in the description and download it. You can play with this mod just as I played with it myself. And while you're down there, you could subscribe to let me know that you like this. Let's say I were to massacre. What would happen? Well, for one, they would all die, but that means we get to scour the remains in search of a very particular item that you might be able to figure out. This might take a while. It's fairly rare. You know what? Oh, look, I found it. It's the goat horn. The goat horn is going to be an actual part of Minecraft. I believe it might be the wild update that we actually get to see the goat horn in action. We have no idea what it does right now, but it has potential. It has potential to be something great, and that's what I've done. This horn has been in the Bedrock betas since October of 2020, and it doesn't do anything. Well, it does do one thing. You can make it play the raid horde sound, which I have carried over here. And you might have noticed there's not the eating animation, because I thought it would be so much funnier if you could spam it. Hilarious. So we all know that we can use bone meal to duplicate double tall flowers, basically. That's pretty much what we can do. I mean, it's useful, especially for getting like very specific dyes, but you can't do that with the small one. Like, what is this? What? No. Why? I just want thousands upon thousands of orange tulips. Why can't I, Mojang, huh? I fixed that issue. And you want to know how? I turned the goat horn into a watering can. Instead of having some elaborate use of distracting a massive mob, you can duplicate tiny flowers. It's pretty exciting. Like, this is a genuine use, and I love it. I love it so much. I can just sit here and just spam it. I could have so many orange tulips. I turned it into a watering can. I turned Minecraft's most theorized item into a watering can. I am so proud of myself. But you can't just fill it with water. You can also fill it with lava. So you know what you can do with overworld plants? Well, the lava goat horn does that, but with nether plants. So you can have an infinite amount of crimson roots, an infinite amount of warped fungus, or even twisting vines. You can do it, but it does require lava, which kinda hard to get. This may seem like a minor change that won't really affect your day-to-day life, but in reality, it makes farming plants, specifically the tiny plants, so much easier. Look at this. This is beautiful. Turning the goat horn into a watering can was the best decision I've ever made. It's almost the best decision I've ever made. We still haven't gotten to the last one. So far, I have transformed Minecraft's goat into glorified farming equipment. But now's the time it becomes so much more. Look at the goat. Look at the lightning rod. Do you see any similarities? Yeah, goats have literal lightning rods on top of their head. And then Mojang refuses to utilize that. What schmucks? So I'm gonna utilize what Mojang doesn't. I'm going to turn the goat into the lightning rod it deserves to be. Well, in a way. If we were to go over to this barrel, it's a great barrel, but it has what I need inside. An enchanting table, 4 candles, and raw mutton. There it is. The sacrificial altar. We can now do religious sacrifices in Minecraft. This is what the video has been leading up towards. Finally, I'm going to be able to cleanse my soul of the various crimes that I have committed. And you're gonna help me. The first step to doing this is to put it in the ground. Theoretically, you could put it anywhere. This is just easier because you have to set the goats on fire. It's fairly simple. Grab a goat and lead it into the flames. Finally, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm being forgiven. Now with that out of the way, we can go into the actual use of the sacrificial altar. As you can see, you can now use goats to start thunderstorms. You don't have to be a genius to figure out the use of this one. Sure, my soul has been cleansed, but does that really matter? Does that really matter when you can start thunderstorms at will? I don't think so. Do you know what this means? Do you know what any of this means? I mean, do you? Come on, do you know what this means? It means you've done something. It means you actually have value.